Chapter 5, Lesson 5, Problem Solving Percents. Our learning objective is that you will use the strategy, use a model, to solve a percent problem by drawing a bar model that represents the problem and shows 100%. Unlock the problem. The recommended daily amount of protein is about 50 grams. One super protein cereal bar contains 16% of that amount of protein. If Stefan eats one super protein cereal bar per day, how much protein will he need to get from other sources to meet the recommended daily amount? Use the graphic organizer to help you solve the problem. Well, real quick, I'm going to pull out the important information. So recommended daily amount of protein is 50 grams. That contains 16% of the amount of protein suggested. He eats one per day. How much protein will he need to get from other sources to meet the daily recommended amount? Okay, so we're trying to find not how much he gets, but how much he needs still. So we're trying to find a difference. So what do I need to find? You need to find the difference between the daily recommended amount of protein and the amount in the cereal bar. So we want to know how much he needs to get from other sources. What information do I need to use? So the important information would be the recommended daily amount is 50 grams, and the cereal bar contains 16% of that. And using that information, the strategy that we can use is to draw a model to find the amount of protein in the cereal bar and subtract that from the recommended amount, and that will give us the difference. So to solve the problem here, it's already got it filled out, but I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm also going to show you another way, because I would have solved it a little bit differently than they show it here. So first you're going to draw a bar model. So here they just drew this bar, and that represents the 50 grams, that's the recommended amount. And so that would be 100% of the protein that you should eat in a day, is the recommended amount, not what he actually eats. The cereal bar, we're trying to figure out how many of those basically he would have to eat to get the right amount. So the cereal bar here is only worth 16%. That's the information we know without doing anything. Up above, we said we have to find the difference. So here they go through and use decimals to figure this out. They said 1% of 50 would be 50 over 100, which is 50 hundredths. So 16% of 50 would be 16 times 50 hundredths, which gives you 8. I would prefer to use the method I learned yesterday, which is 16% of 50 would be 16 over 100 of, which means multiply, 50 over 1. I would simplify here. So now I have 16 over 10 times 5 over 1, which means 16 times 5. You would get 30, which would be 8, equals 80 over 10. Simplify again, that gives me 8 over 1, which equals 8. Whichever way makes more sense to you, you are welcome to use, as long as you still get to the same answer, which is 8. So what we found is that the cereal bar contains 8 grams, which is my 16%. Now, I need to take what I have and find the difference between what I have and what I need. So I have 8, but he needs 50. So we take 50 minus 8, which means that 42 grams of protein need to come from other sources. Let's try another problem. It says that, sorry, there we go. Lee has saved 65% of the money she needs to buy a pair of jeans that cost $24. How much money does Lee have, and how much more does she need to buy the jeans? So Lee saved 65% of the money she needs to buy a pair of jeans that cost $24. How much does she have, and how much more does she need to buy the jeans? So that's a two-part question. So what do I need to find? We need to find the amount of money that Lee has and the amount she still needs. What information do I need to use? So we need to use the price of the jeans, which is $24, and that she has 65% of that amount. How will I use the information? I will draw a model to help me find how much money Lee has saved and how much more money she needs to buy the jeans. Okay, so when we look at solving this problem, again, they're going to use decimals and show you that way. I'm going to use fractions and show you that way. Whichever one works better for your brain, go for it. So the model would show 100% what we need, 100% would be $24. So if she had $24, she could buy it. She has 65%, so here they drew another model here that shows 65% of the $24, which would be 100%. This is what we need to figure out still. And then we need to find the difference. So the first thing would be they show 100% equals $24. So 1% of 24 would be 24 over 100, which could be written as 24 hundredths or 24 cents. So 65% of $24 could be found as 65 times 24 cents. When you do that math, you get $15.60. Again, I would show it a different way. I would show, if it was me, I would say 65 over 100 times 24 over 1. You can simplify before or after, but if you divide both of these by 4, you get 6. To me, that's a little bit easier to solve. So now I'm going to take 65 times 6. So now I have 390 over 25. So now you take numerator divided by denominator. So I'm going to solve that over here. Just put it up here. So we take 390 divided by 25. That goes in once. 25 would be 1. Pen's not working. One minus 25. 4. There we go. 1. Bring down 0. 25 goes into 140 5 times, which is 125. 140 minus 125 gives me 15. Now I have to add a decimal because I'm going to add a decimal here to bring down. 25 goes into 150 6 times. Minus 150, 0 remaining, which gives me 15 6/10 over 1. To make that into a dollar, I would just add a 0 in the end and put a dollar sign, which still gives me $15.60. Again, whichever way makes more sense to you works just fine. So Lee has $15.60, but we have to find the difference. So you would take 24 minus $15.60, which gives you $8.40. So she still needs $8.40 because she has $15.60 and she needs $24 in order to buy the jeans. Again, our objective was that you will use the strategy, use a model to solve a percent problem by drawing a bar model that represents the problem and shows 100%. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask your teacher.